4 hours until Justin Verlander is sent elsewhere in all likelihood, and the Yankees do something that will probably piss off 90% of their fan base.
Does this excite you, or is it depressing because of the current state of the Mets?
It's a great question, Tiki. I'm very nervous. I got butterflies. I'm anxious because there are things that can happen today in the next 4 hours that will piss me off. There are things that will annoy me.
Okay.
Are there things that can excite me? Probably not. Like, I'm going to be honest with you. If Verlander is traded, even if it's for this great list of prospects from the Orioles or the Dodgers, there would still be that sense of sadness that this season became the debacle it was and questions in terms of how they're going to build the rotation next year. So there's nothing the Mets could do that would excite me. So I'm very nervous. And I think Yankee fans, you're probably just all miserable. That's how I take that Yankee fans right now, whether you're like Brandon who said earlier, sell them all off, whether you're like other Yankee fans who say, buy me a player or two.
He also said sell them off and fire Cashman and fire Boone.
Right.
Fire everybody. Tear it all down.
Which is not happening tonight. I can break that news to you.
Set the bed on fire like Teddy Swims.
I think most people are just miserable. I think the Yankee fan, especially, and let's just start here before we get into the deadline. Last night was the epitome of everything wrong with the New York Yankees. They can't hit. Aaron Judge gets walked a million times. Anthony Rizzo and Giancarlo Stanton do nothing in big spots. And we see the manager do something that even 12 hours later, none of us can explain with the whole handling of Domingo German.
Well,
last night was the exemplification of the New York Yankees.
He couldn't explain it. It was, I want to say it was mismanagement, but it's more dysfunction. Like, so Domingo German had an health issue with his shoulder or armpit on Saturday.
Correct.
On Saturday.
Saturday.
Now, I'm a former professional athlete. If I, wake up on a Saturday or play a game on a Sunday, on Monday I'm going to say, you know what, Ronnie Barnes, I got a little thing in my knee. I just can you take a look at it?
Right.
Can you look at my knee? I'm not going to go home and be like, I'm fine. I'll figure it out. And especially even if I didn't do it Monday, by Tuesday, it's still bothering me. I'm definitely going to see a doctor. He has this issue on Saturday. Sunday happens. Monday happens. Tuesday gets around, and you're kind of like, okay, let's explain to ourselves how he did not pitch or how he was not in the starting lineup after not having an issue on Saturday, but not having it looked at until Monday. This doesn't make any sense to me.
Well, the capper to all this is, and I went back, we all did, and listened to what Domingo said to his interpreter last night and what Aaron Boone said. And Domingo feels something Saturday, like you said, throws a bullpen on Sunday, says, I have to wait, I got to see how I feel after that, feels something, tells the trainers. Then on Tuesday, it's like, let me see if I can start. Oh, wait, I can't. We're going to scratch him.
Is he pressing?
Is he pressing?
Yes.
Pressing what?
Pressing to be available.
Oh, well, maybe. Because then on Tuesday, the Yankees tell us, or Monday. Yeah, yesterday was Monday?
Yes.
Well, yeah, what day was yesterday?
Yesterday was Monday.
Yesterday was Monday. So then on Monday, they say he needs to see a doctor. He sees the doctor at 5 o'clock. The doctor says, and it's Dr. What's his name? The smart one, the great one.
Who is this? Like
Christopher, whatever his name.
I know who you're talking about.
I'm very familiar with these doctors, but his name is slipping my brain. The guy who knows everything. Anyhow, Christopher whatever says, hey, Domingo, you're good. You could actually go out and have a catch.
Okay.
So Domingo says, great, I'm going to go have a catch. This is all yesterday. He feels so good during the catch, he goes to Boone and says, hey, I can pitch. To which Boone says, or at least tried to explain to all of us after the game, well, it's too late. I mean, it's 6:15. We can't have him start now. So they start Johnny Brito, who gives up 4 home runs in 3 2/3 innings before he gets through the 4th inning. Then warms up Domingo to bring him into the 5th inning of the game. You're already losing 5-1 in. And when he came into that game, I said to my wife, she had no idea what I was talking about, but I still said it out loud. I said, honey, if Domingo German pitches well, Aaron Boone's going to look like an ass. He better hope Domingo German throws batting practice right now. So, of course, he doesn't.
No.
He pitches 5 brilliant innings, and the Yankees look like complete buffoons.
Yes. They do.
It makes no sense.
They look like buffoons because if you were going to start Brito, by the way, when he gave up 2 home runs early in this game, he should have been pulled. Right? Don't let this thing push out until the 4th inning, 5th inning.
Yeah, so he gives up the 2-run homer in the first. The Yankees
he's not on.
The Yankees responded in the second. To me, when he gives up the home run to Wander in the third, and now it's 3-1, maybe you're thinking to yourself, you know what? Let me get him out of the game. I got to keep this game close.
If you knew that Domingo German was available,
go to him then.
And wanted to pitch, treat it like a bullpen session. Right? Treat it like you're bullpenning this game. So you're starting to bullpen arm. Let me get to my starter when he's ready. And you can't make sense of why Aaron Boone did this. Now, he kind of alluded to this yesterday, too, with Aaron Judge, because Aaron Judge was available on Sunday.
To pinch hit.
But when the game got out of hand, he didn't warm him up because it takes too long to warm up. Is kind of how he positioned it. Well, why warm him up if it's not really worth it? And so I feel like Aaron Boone, by trying to protect his players, is putting his team in worse positions, even though the players would absolutely sign up to not be protected, if that makes sense, right? They'd sign up to be put in the position to go help their team try to win.
Domingo just wanted to pitch.
He just wanted to pitch.
I think that I'll give you the reason why Aaron Boone went to him, even in a 5-1 game. And I'm not defending it. I'm just telling you why I think he did it. I think he looked at this and said, I got to get 5 innings out of my bullpen. And instead of using arms that I may have to use Tuesday and Wednesday, let me just use the arm that was supposed to pitch this game and Domingo German, no matter how bad it makes me look. Because he looked bad when this game ended.
So in some ways, though, it was the right move. I mean, it really was the right move.
Yes.
You have to win these next 2 against the Rays.
Okay, was it the right move because it saved their bullpen today and tomorrow? Yes.
That's all you have to. That's all you can think of.
Sure, but I guess I would have just started him. Is the way I look at it.
I know.
I would have just. And if he gets knocked out in the first inning because he doesn't feel great, that's why Johnny Brito's here.
Yeah.
I called him up for that reason. But here's the funny thing to all this: none of it mattered because the Yankee offense, outside of a Jake Bauers home run, is inept. And one of the things I said to you yesterday about this lineup, and there's only so much you could do with this lineup because there's a lot of guys that are just not hitting, is that you cannot stick Anthony Rizzo behind Aaron Judge. And despite that base hit he had in the 6th inning, which was great, it was hit 110 miles an hour, when they clearly walked Judge on purpose in the 3rd inning, they were not facing Aaron Judge. And Anthony Rizzo comes up and he strikes out meekly. That's why he can't be behind Aaron Judge. Because that's going to happen the rest of the year.
So who do you put behind Aaron Judge?
Gleyber Torres. That's my answer. It's not a perfect answer.
Off? DJ?
Aaron Judge.
Oh, you said this yesterday.
Yeah.
Aaron Judge leading off, Torres behind him.
Listen, if you're going to walk my leadoff hitter, fine. I'll get my leadoff man on. Now, none of this matters if nobody can hit.
Well, how can you say it doesn't matter?
What do you mean?
If Domingo German, first of all, the irony is Domingo German throws his second best effort besides the perfect game this year last night, okay?
Right.
If Domingo German starts the game and he's cruising along and it's 3 innings in, no runs, I mean, the offense already feels defeated as it is. Now they're even more defeated. It's 2-0 before they even hit the dugout to come up to bat. They're mentally drained right now, whether they stink or not. If they know the game feels sunk already, it does matter.
Oh, you mean in terms of starting him?
Yes.
No, I agree with you. I don't mean it doesn't matter in terms of him starting.
And the question I want to answer, if German could get warmed up that quickly and come in the 5th inning, then how could somebody say at 5:30 it's too late to start him? How? It's not like he came in and threw 1 inning.
I think
he threw his starters like anyway.
I think this is Aaron Boone trying to protect his players. It's the same conversation in a sense we had yesterday with Aaron Judge. He's trying to protect his players. And with Aaron Judge, it made sense to me. With Domingo German, not so much. Because, I mean, we don't know what Domingo German's future is. We have no idea. He could be an elite pitcher who, throws no-hitters and gets close to perfect games again. Or he could be a guy who gives up 12 runs.
You know what he is? And you just described it based on that. He's a back-of-the-rotation guy.
Yes.
Some days he's good, some days he's bad. He happened to be really good yesterday when he finally came into the game. The problem is he came into the game when it was 5-1 and the limp offense was dead.
Yeah.
Obviously, you're right. If German starts this game and we just have a old-fashioned pitcher's duel between Tyler Glasnow and Domingo German, who knows? Maybe the Yankees win a game 2-1.
We came off the night before where the Orioles batted around in the first. The Yankees knew 2 in the second inning. They were dead in the water. And the offense stinks as it is, but the last thing they need is to feel mentally defeated. And if they feel mentally defeated because, boy, how are we going to score enough runs to win? We're already down in this game. That's a huge mental hurdle. And there's no reason German then, if he came in, could not have started.
My favorite part of the media session, and I think the guy was trolling, but it made me laugh anyway, is a reporter says to Aaron Boone, so was this like a J-Hap Davey Garcia thing all over again? Because if you remember in 2020 against the Rays, who everybody needs to outsmart, we got to outsmart the Rays, the Yankees pulled this ridiculous thing where they started Davey for an inning and then J-Hap came in. And we all killed it. We all ripped it. So the thought was, because you're facing the Rays, was this some kind of bizarre strategic decision of and Aaron Boone gave him a look of craziness. But here's the problem, Aaron. I explained this as a friend. The reason that question's asked is because you've done stuff like that. If you had never done that, no one would ask
There was
it.
a history.
Right.
There was a history to it.
Yes, it's asked because you've done it. But last night, in so many ways, between Rizzo's, and I thought the Rizzo strikeout in the third inning was the game. I know that sounds nuts because it's the bottom of the third inning of a 2-run game, but 2 on, 2 out, Judges pitched around. Here's a moment for Anthony Rizzo. And I got to rip Yankee fans. And I granted, I'm watching on TV. I didn't think your boos were loud enough. And I'm not a booer. But I was stunned how tepid the response was to that pathetic strikeout.
You're starting to get a fan base that's so dejected they don't even have the energy to boo anymore.
You think that's what it is?
I really do believe that.
I think you're onto something, Sean.
We have, as Yankee fans, and look, if you want to be a pom-pom waver, wave your pom-pom still. We have the life sucked out of us. And I know no Met fan wants to hear that. It's dejection. It's lack of empathy, I guess would be the word for big word Tiki. They are making us in a way not care anymore. And ironically, when we're booing loudly, we still care. Last night, right off the bat, it's just here we go again. Why am I caring?
And when Stanton bounced into the double play, which was another big moment because they had 2 on, 2 out.
The bottom of the sixth.
Bottom of the sixth. He first pitch grounds into a double play. There were boos. They were very deflated. They were like, yeah, I guess we should boo him.
Yeah,
Boo.
well, I mean, that sequence, not that the game felt like it was still in reach, but at least it would have been something.
You had a chance to get back in the game.
Yes, because Aaron Judge walks, and then
Rizzo hits one off the wall.
Nails one, gets a hold of it. You thought when he first hit it, maybe he's gone, and you kind of see it's just not quite high enough. But he ends up with a single, Judge is on third, and then Giancarlo Stanton, it wasn't I want to say it was a dribbler, but it didn't have a lot of pace on it, getting to third base.
No, it did not have a high exit velo.
No, it bounced a couple times, gets to the third baseman. The third baseman takes his time because he knows.
Yeah, because Stanton doesn't move.
He knows. And to me, that was the end of the game.
No, I think that's fair. That was their chance to get back in the game.
Yes.
The Stanton double play, and before that, the Rizzo strikeout. And look, I know I may sound like a hypocrite because I'm not one to boo my own guys, but I'm also around this town. I know the way you guys think. I know that you do boo. That was some lame booing. I got to tell you, it was just very...
They're demoralized. The Yankee fan is demoralized.
Demoralized?
They care more about the chicken fingers and fries last night.
Well,
that's true.
That may be the case because here's the one stat that's good about the Yankees last night. I'm going to give you a positive stat.
Okay.
You ready?
Domingo German pitched 5.
Not even that.
innings.
You're right. 5 scoreless is fine. No, it's a different stat. The best stat the Yankees had last night, not for me, not for Sean, not for you, 43,613.
Yep. That yacht keeps gassed up for Hal. That's all he worried about.
Am I wrong?
No.
And by the way, on a Monday night against the team, no offense, Tampa, no one gives a rat's ass about, that's a huge crowd.
I mean, what do you mean nobody cares about it?
The Rays are this team that kicks them, the Yankees. Tucker says, like, we all know that, but nobody, like...
It doesn't feel like a rivalry. You're saying it doesn't feel like a rivalry.
Yeah, no Yankee fan buys tickets to a Yankee Ray and goes, yes, I'm seeing the Yankees and Rays tonight.
Well, it's Monday during the summer. That's why there's 43,000 people.
That's a lot of people.
But it's been like that.
I know.
It's been like that for the last month and a half.
And that's why.
It's unbelievable.
And that's why, listen, I get it from a baseball perspective. If you're a Yankee fan who says, we suck, I just want to trade guys away. Let me retort that real quick. Here's the difference between 2016 New York Yankees and 2023, because that's the only time you sold. It's the only frame of reference the Yankee fan really has in the last 30 years of selling. Let me break some news to you. You had some really amazing things to sell. You were able to make potentially game-changing and franchise-altering trades. You traded Aroldis Chapman, and the key piece back was one of the top prospects in baseball named Gleyber Torres. Now, we all know what happened to Gleyber. He's been a serviceable player. He has not lived up to that hype. That was a potentially franchise-changing trade. Andrew Miller, too. It did not work out with Clint Frazier. It did not work out with Justice Sheffield. But you had two guys, with all due respect to Wandy Peralta and Clay Holmes and Michael King, they're nice pieces. They're nice.
Yeah.
They're fine.
By the way, those might be the pieces that the Yankees can actually move today.
Those are the only pieces, Tiki. And you're not getting...
IKF, maybe.
Oh, come on. IKF?
He's got some versatility. He's played everywhere this year.
I'm being serious. What do you think you're getting for him, though?
Nothing, really.
But that's my point, Tiki. That's the point I'm making. The reason the Yankees and Brian Cashman sold in 2016, I don't think was simply, we're not that good, let's just sell guys off. They were able to get potentially franchise-changing packages for those guys. There is not a single guy you're trading that's getting anywhere near the potential return that Gleyber Torres was, or even Clint Frazier was.
So then, what's the process going forward? Then, if you're Brian Cashman, if you're sitting in Brian Cashman's mind, like John Malkovich's head right now,
yes,
and you're dictating what to do.
Okay,
what do you do if you're Brian Cashman?
Before I answer that, I want to make a very important point about that attendance and Hal Steinbrenner. The first thing I'm doing is I'm giving my general manager permission to go over the luxury tax. Okay, I want to start there. Money is not a problem for me if I'm Brian Cashman. Okay, I want to clear that hurdle. I cannot have a financial restriction that's impacting my day today.
So what you're saying is that Hal, seeing that Yankee fans are still engaged, need to cater to the Yankee fan and do something that makes this team viable. That's what you're saying.
I think you should try to make the playoffs.
I agree with that.
Okay.
I 100% agree, because that's their business model, by the way.
So if your goal is to make the playoffs, and I know there's plenty of Yankee fans that are going to disagree with me, but I'm pretty consistent. If I'm 3 games out of a playoff spot, I don't believe in selling. I think what's going on in Cleveland is disgraceful, and this isn't Cleveland. I think what's going on in Seattle is embarrassing, and this ain't Seattle. If my team has a chance, I don't care how flawed you think it is, I try to win, especially with money. With money. If you want to debate on what prospect to trade, I respect that. I respect not wanting to trade a top prospect because you're thinking about the baseball team and you're thinking of the fufuture. You know what I don't respect? Well, we need to stay under the luxury tax threshold. Kiss my ass with that. No, seriously.
I know.
So to answer your Brian Cashman question on what I would do, because it ain't easy, the first thing I need is approval that I don't have to make a secondary trade to make my first trade work because I got to stay under a threshold. That's number one. Now, before I answer your second question, one thing that's important for the audience to know is that today on Trade Deadline Day, because me and Tiki believe in this radio show and you more than refreshing Twitter, is we're not on Twitter. We're not checking for these trade updates, but Thomas Lugauer and Sean Morash are. So as soon as any kind of trade goes down through either their sources, because Sean has a lot of them, or social media, there is a sound effect that Loogie will play to notify us that a trade was made.
Did you change it, by the way?
I did not.
Okay. Just making sure.
So hypothetically, there was a trade before the show. The Blue Jays acquired Paul DeJong. If all of a sudden Sean found out about that trade, what would we hear?
Okay, you got me. Give me that sausage.
Whoops, wrong button.
That's the button? All right.
That's the button.
That's the button.
That's not it, though. Hold on.
Then I would say to Sean, holy crap, a trade was made.
Yeah, something happened.
1 to 10.
5, Evan.
So he would give us the number on how he rates that trade, and then we'll instantly tell you the trade.
Yes.
All right? So has there been a trade in the last 21 minutes?
No, there hasn't.
There is not. Okay,
There
great.
is not.
So
I've been locked in.
You're locked in.
But when
Yes.
you hear that sound, accept it.
Wait, does that mean a trade was made?
No, we're just playing.
Oh,
So
why are you practicing?
we just want to train the audience so when they hear
I
that.
see.
And we're going to make sure the reporters have the spelling of the names right as well. No arsons here traded today.
No trade.
No
Sorry,
trade.
just
You
wrong
get me all
button.
nervous.
Sorry.
As soon as I hear that sound, my heart jumps. So the sound will tell us there's a trade. Sean will very quickly rate it 1 to 10 so our heart palpitations can react to that.
I need to see a Met trade today. I need to be sitting here when the Mets do whatever they're going to do. I need to see this.
There will be.
From you.
promise you.
We have 3.5 hours
Yeah.
now. I need to see something. I need to see a reaction from you when this happens. I need to.
Yeah, you think this is going to be James Harden all over again
whatever
or
it
something?
is, it's a 10. Whatever Met trade it is, it's a 10.
Okay, I see what you're doing. I see
It's
what
a
you're
10.
doing.
No matter what it is, it's a 10.
He just wants me to melt down for some
Exactly.
reason. Which may,
100% want to see it.
which may happen. Now,
Cashman.
I want to answer your question about Cashman. I have to add a left fielder. I have to. I have to.
There's not a ton available.
I get that, and I know that if I walk away with Dylan Carlson or I walk away with Lars Nootbaar, there's going to be a lot of disappointment. And I get that. And by the way, stop laughing at Lars Nootbaar. I think he'd be tremendous.
It just sounds like what you had for breakfast.
Candy bar.
I get that. They need to add a player or two that improves this team. I just read that Teoscar Hernandez is available because the Seattle Mariners are potentially moving him off. He hasn't had a great year this year. Teoscar would be the kind of guy that I'd say, hey, that improves the New York Yankees. I know that there is no trade today because Juan Soto's not getting traded. Padres are already buying. That's going to make Yankee fans, excited, moist, whatever term you want to use. But my goal right now, if I'm Brian Cashman, I got to get better.
For next year?
No, for now.
For next year and for now.
Next year, I'm 3 games out of a playoff spot. I get it. Things are bleak now. I'm not going to paint you some kind of rosy-ass picture. I get things are bad right now. I'm not going to try to tell you about last night or the night before and give you a back massage. But what I am telling you is when you're this close, you get better. And money cannot be the thing that keeps you from doing it. And so that's what I would do.
But unfortunately, for Yankee fans, that is going to be what's going to prevent the Yankees from doing that.
That's embarrassing.
This is what Hal Steinbrenner has talked about for 2 years now, and the only conclusion you can draw is that either one, he's terrified to go over the tax because it helps the Rays of the world, the Orioles of the world, or two, he's so financially conscious that he doesn't want to put this team in the red, even if it means making the postseason this year, which is, by the way, which I said about yesterday, is their stated goal. They want not stated, but I think it's their goal. Make the playoffs. Not about winning World Series. It's about making the playoffs.
But if they don't make a trade today, Tiki, then it's not even about making the playoffs.
I would agree with that.
Because they need to do something.
I would agree with that.
They need to improve this lineup.
There's no one that you trust. Not a player except for Aaron Judge, and I guess Torres to an extent, even though he was 0 for 4 yesterday. There's not a player that you trust to change the narrative of this season. Not one.
There is not a game-changing trade on the horizon. There is not a Yoenis Cespedes that's waiting out there for you.
Yeah, and Hernandez, Teoscar Hernandez. I mean, he's having you said not a great season. He's having a terrible season.
Dude, there are not great options. I know that. Like, right now, the thing to buy is starting pitching. The thing to buy is the fact that Max Scherzer is out there, that Eduardo Rodriguez is out there. That's what's out there right now for teams to buy. What did I say?
You said Scherzer.
I apologize. Justin Verlander. Sorry, I get those old pieces of craps confused.
The mercenaries.
Sometimes.
The mercenaries.
Thank you, Mr.
Mercenary
Ombudsman
piece
over
of
there.
Craps. One down, one to go. But that's what's available. There's not a lot of great bats out there. But that doesn't mean you can't walk away with something. And while I'm not going to sell you that Dylan Carlson fixes the New York Yankees, and sure it'll be mocked by most Yankee fans, they've got to improve their roster. They went into the start of this season with a plan of Oswaldo Cabrera and Aaron Hicks playing left field. Please. Here we are months later, and I know Jake Bauers has actually been okay, but they need to address the position.
He's been the only one hitting other than Torres. It's Jake Bauers. But Jake Bauers is limited. We know that. We know that he's limited.
Do you think the Yankees are making a trade today? Buy, sell, or something?
I think they sell more than acquire. I really do.
That's embarrassing.
It is, but what else can you do? What else can they do?
I just told you.
But there's no one that's going to be impactful enough.
But selling,
I know what you're saying. You got to bring in a better option for outfield, as for left field or right field, whatever it is that with Judge. But the ultimate reality is that all of the good players, the Bellingers of the world, they're not the Arenados of the world. Nobody's going anywhere.
But how could you buy and sell at the same time? Like, that's crazy to me. So you're telling me you're going to acquire a left fielder, even if he's below average, and then simultaneously sell Clay Holmes? What the hell would be the point of that?
So that tells me they're selling. Because we already know. The only news that we're starting to hear about the Yankees is that IKF's available, that Bader's available, that Clay Holmes may be available, that Michael King might be available. That's all we're hearing. We're not hearing they really like XYZ left fielder, because there's no great left fielder available.
But we are hearing a lot of that in the last 10 minutes. Not anything close, but a lot of Dylan Carlson rumors are picking up steam to the Yankees.
So that's the guy?
That's
I
the guy.
pinpointed the guy
That's
for
the
you.
guy.
You're welcome.
So that's not a smash. That's not the deal's been done. But to counter Tiki's point, we're hearing a lot of it since the show
I
started.
love that that's the example I've been using, too.
Yeah.
How uninspiring it'll be, but it is a human.
That means because you mentioned it, people are starting to say, "Oh yeah, I heard on WFAN that the Yankees are targeting Dylan Carlson."
And now to tie into Herman, Heyman's latest tweet, teams are calling on Carlson, and they are unlikely to move him unless they get a young MLB starting pitcher back.
He's not. I don't know if he's worth an MLB starting pitcher. And by the way, the Yankees trading a MLB starting pitcher to the Cardinals for basically a fourth outfielder sounds awfully familiar, does it not? Did we get that last? What did we get? A rerun?